Hi Scorpio, welcome to your week ahead tarot with me, Raphael from Radiant Reality. It's an absolute pleasure to have you. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for joining me. If you haven't already, please don't forget to like, share, and if you should so choose and it resonates, hit that subscribe button. If you are already a continued subby, you know I love you for it. With that said, if you would like to book your personal reading with me, you can do so on the website address below. And before we start, as always, I would like to bless my decks of cards with all forms of love, light, peace, prosperity and abundance, and I pray that the messages that come through are ultimately clear and concise and they help you on your path to your highest vibrational good. So this week, for your key to the week, you have the Fool card, right? This is new things, new places, new people, new energy. However, remember, sometimes the tarot gets really literal. Where is it that you I don't want to say you're making a fool of yourself, but where is it that you are not being as wise or as calculated as you usually are? This is a week where you probably want to think about who you are giving more leeway than you would usually give anybody. And what I mean by that is sometimes when we are enamored by somebody, sometimes when we are when we have a depth of feeling for a person, sometimes when we have what's the word? Sometimes our emotions or the way that we feel about a thing or a person colors how we actually see them, colors whether we would actually see them the way that they should be seen. So this week you need to ask yourself, what is it that you are maybe heading into faster than you should? What is it that you are not calling as you usually would see it? That's what I will say on that. For your actions and options this week, you've got the Nine of Wands. This is, now, yes, your Nine of Wands does fall in your actions and options, right? So this is about what you do. But one thing that I will say to you, this is not a week to, now we've talked about vulnerability for a long time for you guys because you've been revealing it slowly but surely to people. However, this is not a week to reveal any of your, not that you usually would, right? Scorpio's like a locked vault. They don't usually share anything with you unless they really trust you anyway. But this is not the week to share important, privileged or even confidential information about yourself with a new person that has come into your life. This, I would definitely say, is a week to err on the side of caution when it comes to sharing anything about yourself, especially over the internet, over the airways, whether it's phone, text message, email. It's a week to be very cautious about that kind of thing, just because whatever it is that you open up with may leave you vulnerable in some other way. All right, for your communications and conversations, you've got the Fool card. So there is someone in your midst, and it's rare, it's very rare that the Fool card represents something negative, so to speak. But look at this, I can't ignore the message, right? You've got double hit of the Fool card. It's really interesting. A lot of the major arcanas have been doubled up this week, so it'll be interesting to see how it all plays out on the wider world stage as well. There is a person in your midst that is not who they present themselves to be. All right, so this is a week for you to just be really cautious about what you share about yourself, maybe about your history. I'm not saying be paranoid and suspicious of everybody. I'm just saying, when it comes to meeting new people, there are certain conversations that you wouldn't have with somebody unless you really knew them. There's certain conversations you wouldn't have with just a friend. And this week is the week for you to be very cautious about what you're saying and what you're sharing. For your money and materials, you've got the Chariot card. Beautiful, right? Off the back of the Chariot card, the Fool card as well, which is really nice. Okay, so money looks good, work looks good, finances look good, especially with the Chariot in tow. Now, if it comes to a big purchase, this is not the week for it. I'm sorry to say, unless you absolutely have to spend that money on a big purchase this week, please refrain. For when it comes to your physical health, this is a week to be really careful with your body, right? You've got the Nine of Wands, the battered and broken soldier, and underneath it you've got the Chariot card. So this is a week for you to really be careful with your physical body. You know, look both ways before crossing the street. You know, if you're using public transport, just be really wary about it. One thing that I will probably say to you as well, it's funny because a similar message came up for I can't remember what sign it was now. I think it was Gemini. And I said to them that, you know, this is a really dodgy, iffy week for public transport. So if you can avoid, absolutely please do. When it comes to your home and environment, this is an interesting one because it kind of suggests that there's some blessing coming into the home, but it's not a week for you to invite people in. All right, your home more than ever needs to be your sanctuary this week. And then for your love and relations, you've got the Five of Pentacles. So for those of you that have just met somebody, for those of you that are kind of seeing somebody, this might be a week where you discover, actually, you know what? This person isn't for me, or I'm not for them, or it's just not us. The other thing is with that Five of Pentacles as well, you could, I mean, there's a couple of ways this could play out. One, this person, so for those of you that are partnered and in relationships as well, I need to mention this. You've got the Five of Pentacles, the Fool card, and the Chariot and the Nine of Wands. As I look at all of this and the way that it feeds into that Five of Pentacles, please, please, please tell your partners to be careful this week. They could have, it doesn't look like it's major, but there could be some sort of accident, a twisted or broken ankle, you know, shutting your fingers in the door, just something that is like, oh, you know, this is the last thing that I needed at this moment in time. So for those of you that have partners, spouses, etc., you know, when I'm in a relationship, I spell the crap out of my partner, all kinds of protections, and you know, most of it they'd probably never even know I'd done, but it's a practice of mine. It's the same for my loved ones, but you get my point. Like, if you're that way inclined, magically or spiritually, just cover your loved ones in a cloak of protection this week. It's definitely going to be needed. All right, so yeah, that's your week in a nutshell, so to speak. It's just going to be a really interesting week for you guys. I wish I could have given you lighter and brighter news, but such as is the energy, right? And at the moment it's interesting because especially if you're you're an ascendant Scorpio, the sun is currently in your 12th house now that it's in Libra. So this is something that, you know, this could bring things back from the past. It could bring maybe issues of trust could come up this week, or maybe you know, you could be, yeah, or maybe you could just, you know, be having that experience of there is somebody in your midst that isn't to be trusted. Just keep your wits about you this week, all right? With that said, I wish you an abundance of all of that good stuff. Have a conscious week, as conscious a week as possible. And with that said, take care, and I'll see you soon.